someone from your neighborhood coming through.
Oh my God.
And there's somebody that's here that I keep hearing passed in an automobile accident.
Yeah. He was going home from a bike place and he was hit by a drunk driver.
He's here.
Oh my God.
And first of all, there's a couple souls I'm connecting with. First of all, your father passed.
Yes.
He's here when I'm connecting, because right away, kept seeing him right behind you, kept seeing him, Matt. He goes, I'm the father, I'm the father. And first of all, when connecting with your dad, he goes, Matt, if my daughter were to see me now in heaven, she would not recognize me, he tells me. Because first of all, before he died, I know that he had a lot of complications with his passing here in this world.
Yes.
And he's also telling me that here in this world, he talks about not being able to walk or move before his passing.
Correct.
He talks about being able to walk and being able to move. He goes, and Matt, I have my circulation back. He goes, I can feel again, he tells me. Because when I'm connecting with him, he keeps telling me there was an issue with his feeling.
Yes.
He tells me, like, I keep seeing this vision of like you grabbing your dad's hand and you're like, Dad, you're so cold. You're so cold.
Yep.
I'm also seeing, because he's saying to me, no, Matt, talk about this. I just saw a picture of hand in hand.
It could have been when my cousin and I were up with him and we were all holding hands with him.
Please know that he knows that. Your dad says to me, the one thing that he needs to talk about was before he died, he keeps telling me he couldn't talk or communicate before his passing.
Correct.
And he says to me, Matt, that was the hardest thing because I knew they were there. And you know what's weird? I don't want to like freak you out or bring you back to that time, but I got to tell you what your dad's telling me. And I feel like when you walked in the room, your dad was trying to communicate with you, even though he couldn't. So I heard you say like, Dad, I'm here. And I saw him like go like this, but I feel like he couldn't communicate or like open his eyes at the end.
Correct. That's it. We put on country music for him and we kind of got a little smile out of him.
That's what I want to talk about. So he said to me, Matt, he goes, I was holding on. I could hear them. He keeps telling me. And I need you to know that because even though he couldn't speak back, he says, I heard all the things that you said to me. And he's also telling me that you were teasing him as well about like back when you were a little girl and like sharing like little stories with him. And your dad says to me, I heard it all. I heard it all. Also, when I'm connecting with your father, what's the connection with horses? I keep seeing horses here.
Horses. I don't know.
Did he grow up on a farm back in the day? Or what was the connection with the horses in him?
My older sister had a pony that we used to show.
Oh, hello. Pay attention. Listen, to me in Rhode Island, horses, ponies, same thing. And he's telling me this, these horses that are on the other side, ponies, whatever the hell you want to call it, are there. And that's amazing. So no, it's his way of just bringing that through.
Oh my God.
Your father tells me this. He says to me, Matt, he goes, I wish that my daughter didn't have to see me those last final days because I feel like you were looking at your dad saying, this doesn't even look like my father.
That's true.
That he does not want you to be upset because you feel like, oh my God, I had no idea what he was going through. He shows me you walking through the door and being completely in shock, seeing him, looking at him, and more importantly, having to see how much your dad had suffered.
Yeah.
Your dad tells me beforehand, he would never tell you how sick he actually was or tell you what was going on with him. He never wanted you to worry, he tells me.
That's true.
So your dad tells me, Matt, please let her know that I don't want her to feel guilty in any way, shape, or form, he tells me. He says, what I want her to remember are those times when she was just a little girl. Those were my favorite. He says, and those are the times that I think back to all the time. He's bringing that through.
Mm-hmm.
Your dad says to me that he is so happy about the closeness that the two of you shared here in the physical. And he's also telling me about back when you were a little girl, because I keep seeing visions of a station wagon. So he had the station wagon.
Oh my God. We did have a station wagon.
He said to me, Matt, I loved this car. He says to me, and he shows me like, because your dad loved kids back in the day. He shows me when I'm connecting with him, like everybody like coming in the station wagon when I'm connecting with him. And your dad says to me, those were some of his favorite times here in the physical. He actually says to me that he's been trying to reach you in many different ways since he's gotten to heaven. And I actually see coins being sent to you. So do you see like pennies, dimes, nickels?
Oh my God, all the time.
That's your father. He's saying to me, Matt, I send those to her. I send those to her. Please let her know it's me. I'm also hearing as well. I keep hearing Jimmy. Is there Jimmy or James?
He had a brother, Jimmy.
That soul's there and with him because he's talking about that soul being there and letting you know they're reunited in spirit. And your dad also says to me when I'm connecting with him, the one thing that I'm so happy about, the one thing that I want to tell my daughter, when I passed the other side, I felt so much love from her. I know how much I was loved and appreciated, he tells me. So even though it was so tough for you to say goodbye, your dad said to me, I love the life that I lived. He says, and please let her know that my soul is always there and guiding her. He's bringing that up.
Thank you. Very, I'm just blown away.
Well, wait a minute. I have something that's weird, really weird. Okay. So I have someone from your neighborhood coming through here.
Oh my God.
And there's somebody that's here that I keep hearing passed in an automobile accident.
We have a young boy.
I'm seeing it, and I'm seeing a little memorial on the side of the road that's here. He tells me he was coming home. He was coming home.
Yeah. He was going home from a bike place and he was hit by a drunk driver.
He's here.
Oh my God.
This is what I try to tell you. It's not about who's on camera. It's about what soul is in that area. And he says to me, Matt, I lived close by. I lived close by. He's telling me. He shows me the neighborhood coming together and putting candles down for him when I'm connecting.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I see that they also made a memorial for him, like a little memorial of where he was killed or where he had died.
Yep.
So please know that his soul is in that neighborhood. He's watching over everyone that's there, because he said to me, Matt, I should not have died this way. I should not have died this way. And when I say that he's in the neighborhood, it does not mean his soul is not at peace. Please know it's just the opposite. He's thanking everybody for coming together when I'm connecting with him and being there for him. It's so crazy because when I'm speaking to him, he says to me, Matt, he goes, I feel like my job is watching over my neighbors, watching over everyone here. He says, because this is the place that I love so, so much. He says to me, so if you felt like a weird spirit in your house or like a weird presence, it's just him.
That would be him.
Not in a bad way. Listen, souls will be the people that they loved. He's here.
Oh my God.
And he is just so thankful for that memorial that was put up. And even though he died of a drunk driver, right? I also see that there was a sign that was put up. So was that his memorial sign or was it a street sign that they were putting up?
They put up a sign on the fence where he was killed.
That's what I'm talking about. I saw a sign being mounted, okay? And I can't make it out. So when I see that, that means to me that he knows that was done in memory for him. So his soul is also there, watching over your house, watching over you and everyone there. And this is his way of acknowledging that he did make it to the other side and he is at peace.
Oh my God.
I really hope that this helps you. And thank you guys for being here.
Such a relief.
It's unbelievable. Thank you so much.
I'm going to leave you with that.